want to thank everybody for watching Crypto Revolution, where I talk about everything crypto daily. Before we jump into this video, I want to ask you to please smash that like button. Let me get the like spike going. Trying to get to 1,000 likes a video. Please subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. I'm going to keep you up to date with everything crypto, technical analysis, news, all the important information you need to know on a daily basis. Jumping right into the market today in crypto. Red day. Jumping right out the window. Overall market cap of cryptocurrency is down to $174 billion. Bitcoin at about 61.96. This is a Bitcoin 1 hour chart. Let's start here. So we have this kind of complex head and shoulders type pattern up here. You've got a larger pattern, obviously, this big Adam and Eve double top in play as well. It hasn't been confirmed yet. We'll talk about that shortly. Now, it's important for this 786 Fibonacci retracement level to hold. The bulls need to show up here. That's at about 6,000. Now, Bitcoin, the RSI is oversold quite a bit. And, you know, this little bounce here was pretty much to be expected. Now, it's important. It ran up here and it tested this 618 fib level. You know, if this retest is confirmed, you'll see some continued downside. Also, your MACD line is moving steadily lower, which is not a good sign. You want it to be, if the bulls wanted to curve higher, you're about to get a bearish cross of the 21 and the 200, and then the 50 and the 200 will probably come late day tomorrow. So short-term time frames, you got a ton of volume here to confirm this breakout to the downside. Not anything too surprising here. This is a Bitcoin 4 hour chart. You've got a potential, again, an Adam and Eve double top here. Now, the bulls have tried to show up here at 61.60-ish and you know, move this price higher, or at least try to hold this level. However, your 0.5 Fibonacci retracement level is at 53.70, and you've got your 0.618, which is real close to the measured move. The target of this move is 4,900. So, you know, if 53.70 doesn't hold, we'll see a move to 5,000. Now, I talked to you guys about this possible bearish divergence, actually double bearish divergence, and that's been confirmed. Price action earlier today, I posted price action lost to 21, and that's something to pay attention to, because when it does break the 21, when it loses the 21 simple moving average, remember this, the 21 simple moving average is based on the candle body close of the last 21 candles, right? So it's an average, and it broke below the average of the last 21 candles. So yeah, not a good sign on this 4 hour chart. Now let's zoom out, kind of working backwards. So we talked about this overhead resistance, right? This overhead resistance, there's a ton of overhead resistance up here. Price action ran up here, Adam and Eve double top. You know, again, if this gets confirmed, there's significant downside ahead for Bitcoin. This is a possible good second chance for a lot of people that missed this initial move to the downside. If you're looking to accumulate and buy Bitcoin at these levels, if we go back here and we look, and I talked to you guys about this previously, you go back here, you had an Adam and Eve bottom, a double bottom. A lot of these reversals that happen with Bitcoin happen on double bottoms. Potentially this was a small head and shoulders, inverse head and shoulders. And so, you know, the potential of a double bottom here, like this would be an aggressive buy idea around $5,000 Bitcoin. If again, price action could bounce here and we move higher, but if it doesn't, you know, we could see a move to 5,000. This bottom trend line, and that shows confluence. It's kind of like the same idea as this falling wedge measured move target of 4,900. So they kind of, you want to find a bunch of ideas that show you the same thing, right? And it's called confluence. And so once you see confluence across a couple of different time frames or indicators, you want to kind of like put a puzzle together. Like you want to assemble as many pieces as you can. And now, one thing I just noticed that's actually kind of bearish for Bitcoin is you got a possible bearish MACD cross sell signal coming right here. Okay. Now you look at the last buy signal, the bearish MACD buy signal was given about in this area, and you would have essentially just bought at about 5,000, 5,100, and then, you know, Bitcoin ran up to 6,800. So that was a really valid signal. Now, it'd be perfectly reasonable to think some type of double bottom gets put in here on the 3-day chart, this lower trend line of this giant triangle, and, you know, we've got the halving coming up. Bitcoin would potentially get a strong bounce here and break out. We run up to the upside of this 9,800 level. Again, a lot of things have to happen. Let's worry about this downside first. I've got a cryptocurrency trading group. I've got 6 chat groups where everybody's calling out breakouts, working together, posting charts. I got 41 videos in a playlist. If you don't know anything about trading this market at all, you can watch these videos. You'll be making profitable trades. Probably a lot of people have some time right now on their hands, potentially. It's a great time to learn to trade this market. Number one reason people join the group is they want to be in the best coins possible. I post profitable trading setups on a daily basis, and we've been just killing it lately. It's wow. Data, 266% gains out of data. Again, this setup was posted on the 14th. Huge pump for data. If you want to join the cryptocurrency trading group, you want to pay in crypto, email me, cryptobitcoinchris@gmail.com. I'll get you set up and in the group today. You pay for 6 months, you get 20% off. You pay for the year, you get 30% off and an additional month for free. If you do want to pay with a card month to month, you can do so. There's a Patreon link in the description. You guys got to remember, the group is cheap. It's not designed to be expensive. It pays for itself in a couple trades. This is Dash. I talked to you guys about this the other day. Dash up 65% after it broke out of this falling wedge. 30 minutes later, boom, 26% gains in IOST. Bitcoin Cash has been another one. So the cool part about the trading group is everybody's working together. This person said, hey, shout out to Big Easy for this trade. I doubled my money in this trade setup that you posted. Another person posted an ADA chart, and Dylan said, ADA's made me $10,000 so far. Next person said, CBC, I'm up $29,000 this week because of you and your group. Amazing setups. Thank you for all you do. You can see on this chart here, I posted this in my trading group, and I think I talked to you guys about it over multiple days. If Bitcoin doesn't push higher, could be setting up for double bearish divergence. Double bearish divergence. Now, what does this bearish divergence mean, Chris? What does it mean? What does this really mean? So there's different classes of bearish divergence, but it's a reverse. It's an idea for reversal of the trend. So class A bearish divergence occur when a price rises to a new high. The oscillator can basically muster a lower high. So if we go back here and we look potentially right here, you've got your high, and then this high is slightly higher. But on your indicator, you got this high, and then this high is lower. So this means there's an underlying weakness in the strength of the move and in the strength of the price action. And again, you got it right here, right? So double bearish divergence. So what does this equate to? What is, in simple terms, Chris, what does it mean? Bearish divergences often signal a sharp and significant reversal toward a downtrend. It's that easy. You learn divergences, the game changes. A lot of people think TA is this crystal ball, and it's not. However, the closest thing to that, as far as kind of telegraphing and foreshadowing these moves before they happen, bearish divergence. If you're looking at taking profits, learn bearish divergence. There's a ton of great resources on the internet where you can read and study and learn and watch videos all about this. This person stated on Twitter that the United States could have 10 times more of those panic cases. That's, the situation that's going on in the world right now. They're saying that the U.S. could have 10 times more than China, which is astronomical. Like, at the end of the day, I want to make sure you guys are safe. That's the most important thing. Crypto's going to be here. I'm going to be here, every day. They got this video out a little bit late today. Went to wash some cars, and boom, Bitcoin broke lower real quick. But your safety is the key here. Now, we have plenty of time to watch these markets, though. Over the last couple of videos, I've talked to you about the CME futures are going to be ending. The futures contracts ended. And a lot of times after futures contracts end, you get some volatility. You get moves out of the price action for Bitcoin. So now this is a Bitcoin CME futures chart. So along with this idea, which is clearly played out here, we're creating a couple gaps. And these gaps get created. If you look, there's no candle here. If you look, there's essentially going to be no candle here because we're going to open here. Assuming things continue the way they are on Monday. So these gaps get created. There's no candles here. There are gaps. Well, there's orders that are stacked. All these orders stacked here. The idea is the people that move this market, the market makers, right? They make sure and intentionally lead this market to refill these levels, fill these gaps, so to speak, because they want to get these orders filled and brought back into the market. So the positive here is for the bulls is there's going to be 2 overhead gaps already, like straight off the bat. So, I mean, possibly Monday morning we get some type of a bounce and fill one of these gaps. If not, we continue lower and then come up. And when we run up, maybe there's a hype spike rally behind the Bitcoin halving, and we run up and fill both of these gaps. Shout out to the Gap Boys. So listen to this. Bitcoin exchange balances are falling. So despite all this volatility, Bitcoin holders appear to be withdrawing their funds from exchanges. The outflow has been increasing daily since March the 18th. So Bitcoin exchange balances are the lowest that they have been in 8 months. And obviously, like, this is a high risk investment. People need money to live on, and they've been selling their Bitcoin clearly based on this chart. So if you look, this is the balance on exchanges of Bitcoin. And it was rising over the end of 2019, even 2020. But around February 2020, everything started to change. And Bitcoin balances on exchanges has fallen. I've kind of followed the trend of Bitcoin. However, this bounce right here, that recent bounce that we had right here, the balances did not bounce with it. A lot of the potential retail buyers that were using these exchanges did not buy back into Bitcoin. So I found a cool post. This person stated that they were all super happy. Bitcoin was kind of doing its own thing. We talked about how traditional markets, and specifically the S&P 500, was correlated with Bitcoin. And this person posted this chart. Hey, here we are. Bitcoin's holding strong, and S&P 500 is dipping. And I found this chart earlier, and now you can see Bitcoin followed S&P 500. So keep an eye on the S&P 500. That's still valid. After Bitcoin plunged 7.5% in minutes, it was quick. Traders fear the worst is yet to come. But again, a move to the downside could make one of the biggest buying opportunities that we're going to see in the history of Bitcoin for us. Saying, are we going to see $5,000 Bitcoin or $4,800 Bitcoin any more in our lifetimes? It's tough to say. But this next bottom is going to be a double bottom and definitely a bullish buy signal. Potentially we'll get some bullish divergence for Bitcoin. And this is a second chance for the guys, everybody that missed or potentially panic sold Bitcoin on its way down to 4,000, 3,800. Second chance is coming. Tether USDT quietly surpasses the $6 billion mark. So we've been talking every day, and now it's clear. Tether is trying to surpass XRP as the number 3 crypto by total market cap. In cryptocurrency, you need to be able to read the intangibles. All this Tether printing, a lot of times it's meant pumping, but in a downtrend, what I've seen over the course of 2018, especially, is that Tether is being printed because people want to use it. Whether they're using it for Bitcoin, to fall, to go into Tether as a safe haven, or if they're going to use it for fiat onboarding as far as these institutions go. So it's important to understand all these intangibles and how they come into play in this market. If you guys like the content that I provide on a daily basis, be sure to subscribe to the channel, like the video, comment below, hit the bell for notifications. Thanks so much. I'll see you guys tomorrow.